Alrighty, another day, another round of Dwarf Fortress. When we last left off, we had a couple casualties in our war. We're building our roof on our base, and we're getting some soap and stuff started up so we can start cleaning stuff up. But we found that our military training, despite our equipment, was just not quite very good. When we last left, so let's see what we can do here to kind of shore this up. And I think the strategy we're going to take is we're going to take mandatory conscription. So we have some full-time soldiers, and they're training to be in the assault team to go out and kick ass and stuff like that. But we now have a secure enough base. I think what we should do is we're just going to throw everybody up to, I think, a practical amount, which would be 3 squads, in the military. Keep everybody kind of trained up to a certain degree, if for no other reason than giving us some extra patrols. So what I'm going to do is, let's see what we can do about getting 3 archer teams put together. So 3 patrol teams. We'll get 30 dwarves in there. We'll get bows, and we'll get quivers, and we'll get arrows churning out. And see what we can do about having a good enough group where we've got good coverage for our archer teams. We should be getting our forges upgraded and improved here with a few more. We'll get some anvils queued up and stuff like that, and we'll just try to get that taken care of and get our digging team to finish out our 2 pits. Our kill pit for our pitting room, and then, of course, the trap pit. So we can get some more injuries as they come down and hit. So I think the first thing we'll do here is let's queue up our dig orders. So let's take a look here. We need to get this down a couple more floors. And this is the biggest priority is getting this one dug out first, because it's out in front of our base and kind of an issue there. We are making progress on our roof. Not very fast progress, but it is what it is. Alright, got that queued up. Let's take a look and see what we've got here. We've got 1 patrol team. Let's get Royal Guard. Let's throw some other people in the Royal Guard just to let's throw all of our nobles in the Royal Guard just because we can. Accountant, administrator, Washington, sure. We'll just throw them in there, see if they can handle that. We don't have any standing orders for them, so if anything, they'll just periodically go down and when they're bored, and they'll do some training on their own. So, and I think that's pretty much all we've got. Yeah, that'll be sufficient for now. Our assault team will be driven by having full equipment. We have people in the trainee group. Let's grab another random soldier here. And we still need another for the patrol team. We'll fix that here in a second. Alrighty, so, noble. I'm going to need 2 more majors. So let's go see what we've got in our common pool here. And I will adjust this so you guys can see it here. We'll go back to monitor capture. And we'll sort by profession. There we are. We got plenty of crafters. We got a couple commoners. Let's take you, and we'll make you a major, and we'll make you a major. And that gives us major tech and major back. Perfect. That will work just fine. We'll come back over to our dwarves. We'll clear the monitor capture and clean that up for you. And let's get another major here. Major tech. And major tech. And we have one last major lurking around here. Major back. There we go. Okay, so there are our 2 more majors, and we're to come back over to monitor capture real quick, and Dwarf therapist. Alright, so let's fill up those 2 squads, and I think we will pull from our crafter pool. the odds of them getting shot through the fortifications is there, so we're going to avoid some of our more critical guys. Nobody with the blacksmithing skill, for instance, here. So let's take a look here. Aaron, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, you know, I got a better way we can handle this. Let's go by total skill level. And we'll grab the bottom of the barrel of our skill levels. That way they're the least likely to really be impacted by what's going on. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Bold should be already in a military squad. There. Okay, so let's fill up one of our... Oh yeah, it would help if I actually made those squads. Hold on here. Military. Great squad. Archer. Great squad. Archer. Name. Patrol team 2. Name. Patrol team 3. There we go. Come back over here. And let's try this. Assign a squad. Let's do this. Refresh. There we go. Make sure our 2 majors are in their appropriate squads, because I didn't see them here. Commander, trainees, alright, you're there. Oh, that's because you all ended up in squads already. Let's replace you with somebody, anybody. Masbeth, there. Patrol team 1, we'll put, there's a major around here somewhere. Let's go major, there we are. Tech. Q, let's see here. Major. Oops. Still getting used to that. Major. Back. Major tech, major back. And Q. Major to Nas. There. Now we actually have people in command of those squads. We can come back over here and finish adding them. And again, we'll grab the bottom of the barrel here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Assign to squad, patrol team 2. There we are. 3 dwarves. And we'll go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Assign to squad, patrol team 3. And assign to squad, patrol team 1. Assign to squad, patrol team 1. Alright, so there. We've got 3 full patrol teams. Let's head down to our training area here and make sure our patrol teams actually have access to the targets to practice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Military schedule. And we're going to find our patrol team 1 here somewhere. Where is it here? I need... Where is it here? Plus or minus. Patrol team 1. There we are. So, copy. And find our 2 patrol teams. Paste. The nice thing is we don't have to screw around with our routes or anything. We already did all that. So as effective as once we unpause, now we have 3 groups, distinct groups, that are going to patrol that entire tower and all of that stuff. So So far, so good. However, we've got one problem now that we really need to address. And that problem is equipment. We're going to need 30 bows. We're going to need 30 quivers, 30 sets of leather armor, 30 a lot of stuff. So we have got to get cracking on that. Jam Q. Actually, let's see how many we got. Bolts. 30 crossbows, already good. We're going to need a lot of leather armor. Oofta. A lot of every type of armor. So, let's see here. We also still have the assault team to contend with. A beak, wolf, wow, bone hammer. That would almost be useful if it wasn't made out of bone. That's really crappy, but what are we going to do? Nothing. Alright, what is Washington still missing? He's missing a dining room. That's what this area is for here. You've been wondering what this gap here is for? Well, that is to expand the meeting hall area where we're going to put all of our fancy stuff. So we also need another spare set of doors. Door here. Door and door. Alright, now let's get you guys back up so I can see ya. Is there an advantage to declare a training room for each target rather than one room including the other targets? Yes, if they will only use the one target, regardless of how many other targets are in the room. So you can put 10 archery targets in a room, create one room, and all they'll ever do is shoot at the one target. So by having them all overlap, they will use all of the targets concurrently. So you can get 3 or 4 guys in there shooting at a different target, if that makes sense. I'm guessing the game logic is the dwarf is assigned to the target, so it would do no good to have extra targets because he's only going to ever shoot at one target at a time anyway. So at least that's been my observation. Whether that is the case, obviously this is Dwarf Fortress and they do weird and unusual things. This big room here is a furniture room, and this will seem a little bit odd, but it will make sense here in about 2 seconds. So we're going to set a gem pile right here. This is going to be slightly bigger than usual. About that big. And this pile is going to hold only one thing. Uncut gems. And they're going to bring uncut gems in there. And then what we're going to do, workshop, jeweler, we're going to have a jewelry shop right here. And we'll make it out of conglomerate blocks. Why not? Then we're going to have another pile. And that's going to be all the way back out here. P, E, gems. Like so. We're going to get cut gems in this pile. Setting, gems, cut gems and cut glass. Workshop, jeweler, no, workshop, jeweler, there we are. We have another jeweler shop right here. And actually, let's move it about here. And we'll put it in blocks like that. Okay, Q. This is, we're going to give, well, actually, we got to build those first, so we'll let that run. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have gems over here. We're going to have uncut to cut. From cut, we're going to feed this other jewelry shop here with unfinished furniture. And that unfinished furniture is going to go here. And then way the hell up in this area, up in here, we're going to have a stockpile of furniture that this will feed into. Because it's further away than the unfinished stockpile here, what we'll be able to set up is at least a single pass of decorating furniture. What is your common way to equip barracks with furniture? Will decorate weapons be more effective? As far as I can tell, decorated weapons have no impact on their ability. The nice thing, though, is the better crafted a weapon is, a dwarf holding it will admire what he's carrying or wearing. So that's just like free morale. Free bonus to, hey, I feel much happier now. So, because face it, I mean, it's one thing to swing a big sharp piece of iron, but if the big sharp piece of iron looks like the sword of omens from Thundercats, you're going to be much more well-adjusted soldier. And let's clear up some more room in this stockpile. Setting. We no longer have any need for gems at all. Disable. And here we need a stockpile for furniture. And this will be our initial stockpile of furniture. And we're going to go here, and we're going to path there, and so. We'll go back up to here. Yeah, it looks good. Cute. Setting furniture. Alrighty, metal, don't care, that's fine, that's fine. Core quality, that's fine. The only thing we don't want to store is artifact. And that may seem counterintuitive, but we want to use our artifact furniture in other display areas, places where people are going to walk by a lot. Like, for instance, right here in the center, we can go P, we can go furniture storage, enter Q, setting, and now this will, no, forbid, there we go. Then we'll let it only store artifact here. So if we happen to have an extra artifact lying around, they'll put it in the middle of the staircase, and everybody walking by will see that artifact, whatever it is, if it's a piece of furniture or whatever. We do have plenty of dwarves, though, that look like they're in need of, I think I already put cabinets down. I think it's containers they need. Let's take a look here. If I can find my cursor, there it is. Alright, so that's a chest, so we need cabinets. Build F, cabinet, planning mode, and we'll do this. And here. Busy. Okay, I see grates being made. This is a good sign. We have furniture being made. We can clear that out of this stockpile now. Settings, furniture, disable. And we're still waiting on you guys to dig that out. We got 3 more floors to go. Plenty of bone, and we should probably correct something that somebody pointed out in the comments, that we don't need bins in food stockpiles, so we can just clear those out here. We'll be okay there. Oop, we're getting some iron bolts built. That's good. We like iron bolts. We have plenty of soap. We're good there now. Our livestock is chilling, doing fine. Our hospital's A-okay. The question is how many of those dwarves are training and practicing and doing their thing? Alrighty. And let's double check our labor to make sure our miners are doing nothing but mining. We have plenty of mining work that still needs to be done, and we don't need them multitasking. Clear labors, mining. There we are. So just mine. Dig like your lives depend on it, because it does. Alrighty. T, make sure none of our traps are stuck. And what we should probably do right now, which is good to do periodically, is we're going to hop into DF hack and just type a command, which is clean owned. It's just a good idea to do that periodically. It's a little bug fix to try to clear out stuff. Furniture in barracks. How much do you need? None. You don't need anything in there except for one armor stand, and they'll use it for training. There is a whole subsystem about using armor racks and weapon racks to store equipment. It's buggy, it doesn't work, and it's unnecessary. And if you really want to have your equipment handy, what you can do is like do a stockpile like this, and we go P, and we're going to make we'll make a weapons stockpile here. Let's see here, that's what, P for weapons. We'll go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There. P for weapons. There we go. Finally. And then D for armor. Like so. Build. We can do an armor stand here, and we can do a weapon rack here. And I'm going to reach over here and grab my cup of coffee. There we are. And let's configure these for one very important thing. Since we're storing weapons and armor, we don't want trap components in there. And we want only usable weapons. Settings, armor. Again, we only want usable weapons and armor. And max bins are fine, and bins are fine. They can get armor and weapons out of bins just fine, it would appear. So we're okay there. DS. Let's smooth the training room and the archery room, just because it will make dwarves admire the architecture a little bit more while they're down there training. Another thing that you can do, which does come in handy, I tend to put a food stockpile in here. Usually just booze or something. Setting food, block all, and permit. Dwarves drink a lot more than they eat, so I tend to keep booze handy in the training area itself, just in case. We also need a place for wine skins, and I believe all that is under finished goods, so G, Q, settings, finished goods, forbid all, and we want flasks. We can put armor, footwear, headwear, handwear, and more importantly, backpacks, quivers. Those are our two big ones right there. And then max bins, yep. JMQ, let's get some bins going here. We'll use iron. Bin, and let's get 30 of those. Alrighty, here come some of the weapons. That'll give us a good at-a-glance look. Can you give me an example of unusable armor or weapons? Yes, anything that's got the word large in it. A lot of times you'll have orcs and goblins and things like that that will carry large weapons or giant battle axes, and they're too big for your dwarf to use. We're going to have a separate stockpile down in our forge that we're going to auto smelt and melt unusable weapons that we don't need or want. In fact, I'll set that up right now while we're at it. So we're going to come down here to our forges. We're going to go P. That's what this extra space over here is for. And we're going to go just use weapons. And we're going to just go like this. 1, 2, 3. Like so. Q. Settings. So weapons and traps. What we're going to do is, instead of usable, we're going to leave it at unusable, that are made out of metal. And preferably nothing artifact and nothing artifact. So this stockpile here, we're basically going to use as an auto melt. Anything that ends up in that stockpile will mark for melting periodically. We'll do another one here for armor. D, armor. Q, settings, armor. Again, unusable stuff and anything made out of metal. And nothing artifact, and nothing artifact. So that hopefully will fill up with DF hack. Yeah, it does work. You can set up to auto melt. I just come down here and I go like D, and then it's like what is it here? DM, Shift M, something like that. I gotta remember. DB, is it DB? Yeah, DB M, and then I just do a select down this whole section like this. I just go boom and I'm done. And then I don't worry about it. So you can set up auto melt thing, but to me it's just I get so little of the stuff that I don't really worry about it. So it's one thing to automate everything, but after a while then you're really not playing, you're just watching. So there's a balance for me. Oh, that's good coffee. So yeah, and then here's another interesting thing is that we can do the same with weapons. There are some weapons that are usable that we don't actually want, that are still made out of metal. For instance, we'll go no trap components, metal. We are never going to use, for the most part, bows. So let's do this. We'll go forbid. We'll go bows, blowguns. We're not going to use two-handed swords. We are not probably going to be using any metal training stuff like that, and we don't want any other materials. No artifact, no artifact. Come back up to here. Q. This is our weapons, right? And we aren't going to be using bows, blowguns, two-handed swords. Actually, we're not going to use pikes or halberds. They're too big. Longsword, we're not going to use. Great axes, we won't use. And again, training stuff, we're not going to use. So, there. What about auto melting all that is not so well crafted and stuff? Yes, you can do that. It is a way to recover, but the way that melting equipment down, you only get a certain percentage of it back, and it tends to stack up in the forge. What I've learned is that it really isn't terribly worth the amount of labor involved. It will keep your dwarves a bit too busy. Yeah, you can do a loop like that, but again, the problem is that you'll start to build up extra crap in your forge, which slows down the amount of time, which basically slows down the productivity of your dwarf and makes things go even longer to forge stuff. So in my experience, it's just never really been worth the time to do that. So it's just basically my auto melting is basically to cut down on the amount of crap on the map versus trying to aim for certain quality. It's just the way it is, and I guess I've never played really a fortress long enough to worry about it. The easiest thing to do simply is just sell your lower quality weapons for a gazillion dwarf bucks or whatever you want to call them. So that I just found is an easier solution. I mean, a cheap iron longsword that's low quality is still worth like 300 or 400. So it's like, why not? And you can squeeze even more by decorating everything in bones and things like that. So, alrighty here. Let's see, how are we doing on our bolts? We're really slow, man. I got to get some more of those forges opened up, I think. Let's see here. Are you guys done digging that pit down? No, but at least you're digging now. Alrighty, let's see here, and let's put a random weapon trap if we got some spare stuff. Weapon trap. Let's put a weapon trap right here. What have we got here? Iron spear. Yeah, we'll use an iron spear. And oh yeah, that's right. We have that artifact weapon. We can't use that though. We need an artifact mechanism. Otherwise, they'll just destroy the mechanism, and then the weapon will let the weapon more or less. So, let's see here. That's it, really? Yeah, screw that then. We'll put it down on our trap line. Trap, weapon trap. We'll put a random one. Yeah, here. Iron spear. Done. Okay, we had a lot of hauling orders, unfortunately, gumming everything up. Let's see here. Yeah, we got a lot of store in stockpile. We got rock pots, construct building. That's fine, that's the roof stuff. Pick up equipment. Sorry, I'm stockpile, alright. Okay. They're busy doing their thing. Let's take a look at our furniture stockpile is working. And did you get that built yet? No. But you got that one built, which is good. That means also our fishing spot should be done. Build floor grate. Great. Prevents the dwarf from accidentally dodging down there, falling down there, and just in general being incredibly stupid. Alright. In fact, I think it's about time we open those floodgates. I think we should be done. Yep, we're just waiting on the door. Once that door goes in, we can open that up. We just gotta come... Where is it here? Dig. Here, H, right. That was our last grate, in fact. Build, floor grate. There. And that will clear out some more room. Just waiting on that to get built. Now that we have conscription going, we aren't going to have as immediate results when it comes to our dwarves building stuff and doing what they're supposed to be doing. So, is there an adjective to having the statue being? Is there an No, what happens is you need all the parts to be artifact, or they'll be able to building destroy one part or the other. So when it comes to a weapon trap, if the mechanism isn't artifact, they'll still be able to destroy the trap. They won't be able to destroy the weapon, but then the weapon will just be sitting there. So you want them both to be an artifact, just for traps for the most part. Is there an adjective to having the statue being an artifact? I'm guessing you're saying if there's an advantage to the statue being an artifact, just the quality and the admiration of dwarves passing by it. Oddly enough, as far as I can tell, let's say a dwarf really hates spiders, and you make an artifact statue of a spider. Apparently, despite the fact that dwarf dislikes the spider, they'll still like it in the fact that it's an artifact. If they fix that, I'm guessing it's going to actually backfire, and it'll really piss the dwarf off if they hate spiders and there's an artifact statue of a spider. So, who knows? We'll see. Alrighty. We're getting our stockpile of gems up. We got plenty of cut ones. This is good. Q. Give to a workshop, and we want to give to this one. And we'll see down here, it's give to the jeweler shop. Once they're done, we'll put our finished furniture stockpile up here, I think. There's enough room. So, our doors are busy digging. You guys are busy building a roof, which is a good thing. Got a long ways to go, though. All of our towers are done. This is good. Rock doors are done. Okay. Q. L. O. Lock. Alrighty, so nobody can get back down into that area, which is good. Oops. There was a guy down there. Alright. Well, that's no good. What the hell were you doing down there? Oh, the grates. Man, that'd do it. This man has a lot of dogs, it would appear. Why is all the dogs following this one guy? This must be the trainer. Yeah. Oh, crud. Yeah. The trainer, all the dogs are following the... Are there any left in my entrance? Okay, good. I guess I can't complain that much. But I probably should do this. Military. Who is my assault team commander? Unit. Search. Commander. CPE. Let's give you a couple war dogs. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. Alrighty. He's digging out the finished furniture stockpile. That's a-okay. And that would be our special guest star, Walt, trying to sneak in. What's up, little guy, huh? You want to say hello to the internet? Is that what you want to do? You're a dog. You can't speak. Nope, you're incapable of it. You are incapable of speaking on the internet. You can't even type. You have no opposable thumb. Alright, little guy. I gotta get back. I gotta get back. I know. Go be cute somewhere else. Alrighty. Hospital zone setting. Zones, net, coffers, chest container. Also place chests and containers in it. Yes. For the hospital zone, I'll pop down here for you. This is the hospital zone that I have right here. It's this bottom room. Eventually we'll get a well in here. And basically what you need is you need at least a few containers like chests, so like an H. And then you need a few cabinets for F. So, and then what will happen is they will move, if you look up here, they'll move thread, cloth, splints, crutches, powders, a couple buckets, and soap into this room. And they'll fill that in. And you can increase these numbers. I don't know anybody that ever does adjust them, but you do need to have those components in there, and preferably a well in the room, because dwarves that are in traction and stuff like that will only be able to drink water while they're recovering. So having the well right there makes it a lot quicker, which leads to my awful, horrible design of putting my fishing area always next to my hospital. So if dwarves could smell, I'm sure that I would be in a lot of trouble. Alrighty here. Hey, so my medic just got massacred by a bear, and I'm trying to figure out how to use a hospital. But other medical items. Yeah. So we've covered that, and another thing is a dwarf is going to have to carry them down there. I strongly recommend having at least 2 people whose only job, I call them nurses, whose only job is to feed and tend to patients. Yes, the surgeon will assign the dwarf a splint or a crutch as needed. I've had a dwarf who lost a leg, had to use a crutch, and he was actually able to kill some things with the crutch. So, oddly enough, apparently, depending on the circumstances, they'll either use the crutch as like a limb for attacking, or they might use it as a weapon. I don't know the internals on how they use that. All that I ever saw was the kobold got struck in the head by a crutch. The toughest part of it, though, is making sure you have soap. Without soap, everything is useless. They won't do surgery without soap. They'll diagnose things, but without soap, they won't. They basically won't even touch the dwarf. So, always make sure you have enough soap. Alrighty, how's our roof coming? Build, see, floor. Let's get another section going. Sure, we'll use up Horn Blend. We will use conglomerate block, dorite blocks, marble blocks. I don't care if it looks pretty. Just fill that granite. There we go. Done. Okay, they're busy doing their thing. Trees are going to get queued as necessary. They're smoothing out the training facility. We've got Dwarves training. This is a good sign. These are our trainees, the team that's going to ultimately end up in the assault team as we get equipment. So, hopefully, periodically, what we'll ultimately want to see is somewhere in this list of what Dwarves are doing is attending, individual combat drills. We want to see combat demonstrations and stuff like that. But as long as we see archery practice and go to archery practice, all's good. That means they're on their way to here. The problem is, if they don't have quivers and they don't have bows, then we're kind of pooched. So, alrighty. So we're gonna need more bows, and I think waiting on the iron bows is gonna be a problem. So let's go to our wood team here. There's the wood room. Craft stores, boyer's shop. Here we are. Let's get some wooden bows. We'll get 10 while we're waiting for those iron bows to finish up. And I think did we finish the pitch? Of course not. Dang it. Really need you guys to hustle on that pit. We need a good drop to break some legs. Another question that came up in an email actually is my raws are modified so that my dwarves will butcher sentient beings. So they will take a goblin or an elf, butcher it, use its bones, make leather out of it, that kind of stuff. As much as that's a nice element to role play, if you've watched my How I Play series, it's actually just to reduce the amount of clutter. It means that they'll use the bodies and process that rather than have them decompose into thousands of pieces that they'll never use. So, in case this guy's taking them, put them to the butcher shop, and we'll get some leather out of them. Alrighty. Excuse me. Okay, they're working on that still. We do have spare pots now, it would appear. And let's get some additional pigtails going. Pigtails. And we'll do dimple cups in the off season. Dimple cups. Settings, disable. I don't think we'll end up using these stockpiles, but we'll leave them here just in case. Alright. Alright, and we already queued up 30 quivers, and we queued up 30 water skins at least. What we probably should do is queue up leather armor. Let's get 30 of those. Q leather backpack. Let's get another 30 of those, just to use up any leather we come across that we aren't really using. I think we put in our big order for cloaks already, so yeah, we got our big cloak order in, so we're good. You guys are busy. How we doing on booze? I think I got enough brew orders in. Yeah, we still have plenty of brew orders. We're good. We have chains being made, but we're getting our iron bolts out of the way first. Okay, I don't think we have anybody lurking down in this pit anymore. Nope. Let's open our floodgate. Q. L-O. And pull the lever. And we just gotta wait for them to dig that out. to fill our cistern. For those that aren't familiar when it comes to dwarven water physics, this spot right here, when water travels diagonally, it resets its pressure and elevation information. So, why do Mark Dwarves have to wear leather? Because sometimes goblins shoot back. And having them have at least some armor on gives them a chance to survive. Basic goblins have trouble shooting through fortifications, but like their leader guys or the champions, they'll usually show up, I think, as elite. They'll shoot through that like it's paper, so we don't want them to be completely naked. And it keeps my leather workers busy and gives them something to do, so... we have a pretty good leather worker, so he's probably going to be making some really nice leather armor. And again, if they're wearing it and it's nice quality, makes the dwarf happier. So, brew drink. We got another brew set done. Puts us at 200. Alrighty, so far so good. Yeah, let's see, we'll keep them busy and happy and keep the leather going. So, alrighty, we have a Minotaur, Sog Uven something or other with the head of a bull. So we have an interesting circumstance. Let's turn our alert on and make sure all of our civvies get in here. He's beelining it. Something fierce. In fact, let's do this. This will be a little bit more interesting way to handle it. Okay. F for follow. Actually, wait, hold on. We need to do one other thing first. We have a champ. We should probably have him in a position just in case. So, squad, A, M. Put you behind the dogs as usual. Now we'll follow him. Okay. Follow. Unpause. Alrighty, let's see how the Minotaur handles our little base. Oh, no, 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 don't run that way. Don't run that way. Ah, crap. You are an imbecile. Whoever you are, you're going to die a horrible, grisly death. And if we're lucky, he's going to backtrack. Good God, this guy is terrible. By the way, I should really pay attention to who you're killing. A shaman. Okay. Not horribly concerned. And whoever is practicing up there is a terrible shot. I've got to see this combat log. Why is... Oh, he's choking him to death. That's somewhat hilarious. That's going to take a while. Squad. Hey. You should be on your way at some point. We do have a disadvantage as well, as the way our area is set up. Because they're in the military, they'll continue to do their thing, which is a bit of a problem. Alright, squad. A. Kill. Screw it. Let's see if this guy can get the job done. Sorry for all the questions. I'm brand new to all this. Is your fortress multiple fortresses? No, it's just the one. It's multiple layers, yes. And I usually start only in the first 8 or so layers. So, if you check my YouTube channel, I've recorded all of these from the very start to now, and we'll keep continuing to record. So, you can go back to those and kind of see how we got to this point. So don't worry about that. I did put the YouTube link in my description for the Twitch channel, I think. So just check those ones. And Minotaur having trouble fitting his hands around the tiny dwarfs. No, it's just that suffocating takes a long time. So, we'll see if our guy's gotten his job done here. Squad A, Z, center on squad. There he comes. Alright. Let's see. Let's take a look here. Actually, K. I think it's K. No, it's Q, C, no, E, no, T, no, V. There it is. Alrighty, inventory. Steel mail shirt, steel, steel battle axe, cloaks, trousers, cloaks. You do not have a shield, it looks like. Why do you... Oh yeah, you have an iron shield. Alright. So our dude is reasonably well equipped. Let's hope the Minotaur is busy strangling the other dwarf and doesn't realize the guy clanking down the hallway covered in steel with a battle axe about to hit him in the back of the neck. Come on. Come on. Whack him. Yep, there we go. Alrighty, military alert off. Let's see how that actually went down. Ooh, the soldier twists the embedded steel battle axe around the Minotaur's right lower arm. Ugh. Minotaur strangles. Yeah, I see. He was too busy strangling the guy. Let's take a look and see how messed up our shaman is here, and we'll see if our hospital system works. Enter, view, health. Cannot breathe. No evaluated wounds, diagnostics required, winded, cannot breathe. Well, let's see if our dwarves can save his life. That'll be interesting to see. And our dwarves are busy practicing shooting arrows. Good. Hello, and is that Aidenos? Nice to meet you. So our commander there's got a kill. What the? Yeah, that's. Yeah, well, that's what you get for not being military assault team commander. Let's search. Commander, view, kills. So, Sog, Bolt Hollow, the Ugly, died in 303. Well, he'll be in the history books. If and when we get to the point of losing this fortress, we'll go back into Legends mode, and then we can recap the history of the fortress. So, one of the cool things about this game is when you lose, you get a story as a consolation prize, no matter what. So that works out to our advantage. So despite losing, you are shaping the history of your dwarves and all that. No, this is not masterwork. That is just the term that for a saved labor profile. I do have a link in one of the videos to my labor profiles, but basically it's my medical doctors. So that's just the term that I used for socializers and for medical practitioners. So, nope, this is vanilla. The only thing we've added is we've added the Fortress Defense mod to keep things interesting. And there's a sentient race of gorillas. Because when I set up my raw files, I was watching Planet of the Apes. So I decided, you know what this game needs? This game needs a sentient race of gorillas. So, I added them. Now they won't let me trade. Am I just doing it wrong here? Or do they refuse to trade? Well, once you seize it, you've basically stolen something from them and they're packing up trying to leave. You might as well at that point just kill the bastards. Elves are good for nothing. They're hypocrites, they're assholes, and they're cannibals, by the way. So, if they don't want to trade with you, screw it. Kill them. Leave no witnesses. Anyways, elves are defenseless. They don't even have any weapons equipped. You do it enough times, though, and the elf will actually send an army, and they're stealth-based. And the problem with that is that when they come in huge droves, and sometimes even will ride a unicorn. So, you gotta be careful with that. We're short pots again? Really? Jam, Q, rock, pot. 30. There we go. We've got spare cages. We got a... Ooh, is that a pot-belly pig? It is a pot-belly pig. Let's bring you in here. Let's see, you were in a cage, right? So... Stray boar. There you are. Freeze up a cage, and we get an extra animal. Uh-oh, somebody's throwing a tantrum somewhere. Ficod, okay, Ficod, let's find out what your problem is. Sort by race. Happiness. Ficod, you are upset because you didn't have enough dining tables, you've complained about a draft, you're caught in the rain, and you are just not cut out to be a soldier. Let's see here. Unlikely to become enraged, slow to anger, prefers familiar routines, cannot be flattered. The self-discipline, first thing that comes to mind. Well, there's not much I can do to make him happy except add more dining tables, I guess. So, it doesn't look like his problem is completely irreversible. It's just a matter of making him happy quicker. DS, we're going to smooth this out here. And there we go. Alright, so both of these are finally built. We have a full stockpile here, so all that I do is I eyeball this and I look at what red spindles. So I come over here and I go, add a new task. What was that? Red something, wasn't it? Red spindles. E for engrave. F for furniture. Repeat. Then we're going to come here and we're going to say Q. P. We need furniture storage. We'll put furniture storage up here. However, this one we are only going to take from this place. And we hit A, so it says we'll take from links only. So this furniture stockpile, whatever ends up in it, has to have been decorated at least once. What is the biome? The biome that I am in is, good lord, I don't remember. I think it was, oh, good grief. This part over here was a rocky wasteland, and this over here I think was a temperate forest. And I think this is calm, and then this is wilderness. Alert. Alrighty, F2. Build H, right? No, workshop H. Fishery, yep. And we're gonna put some fisheries here. H. Fishery here. There. I. So here, over here. Fishing zone. That looks odd because there's no water yet, but we'll get there. Alright, and up again, and we have to unsuspend some stuff. I'm here missing, yeah. Suspend. There we go. They're doing their thing. Will putting a crown on my dwarf do anything special? Got one from Game of the Elves. Crowns, for the most part, are all those miscellaneous earrings and things like that your dwarves will pick up on their own and wear. They're not considered armor, so you can't really explicitly tell them to wear it. It's a decorative item. And if it's made out of the right materials, they'll tend to wear it. But you can make them yourself, too. It's just a craft. If you go, like, under your crafting, you go rock, create crafts. They'll create stone crowns and stone earrings and all sorts of stone crap all day long, so... Alrighty, let's see here. We're doing okay.